What's good, people? Welcome back to my channel. So this video has been long overdue, and the video where I said that I'm back, right? I said that I wanted to focus more on what you call it, faith-based content, but for some reason every single time I do my schedule, I get to Sunday and I'm supposed to record, and it just doesn't happen. Like, I'm not in the mood to record, and then I delay and delay, and then I don't post, all because I'm not doing the faith-based content. And I have a feeling Satan doesn't want me to share, which is why he demotivates me from doing so. And if he is doing that, that means that some of y'all might need this video to be out there, and I'm just postponing it because the devil doesn't want y'all to listen. So I hope it will be helpful. But yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so as a base, I'm going to use scripture to explain our title of today, which is starting right, or restarting if you've already started. And it is perfect because it's not the beginning of the year, it's not the beginning of the month, it's not the beginning of the week. Like, yeah. So we are going to be reading from the book of Luke, chapter 15, verse 11 all the way down. It's a very common story, you all might know it. It's about the prodigal son. So there was once a rich, wealthy man, and he had two sons. So the younger son said to him that he wanted his inheritance in advance so that he could go out and live his life the way that he wanted to live his life, right? However, when he went out, because the father agreed and gave him what he asked for, when he went out, he wasted the money on wild parties, he wasted it on vibes and moods, and before he knew it, all of that money was gone. And so he ended up being a homeless person without food, working for nothing, feeding pigs, wanting to eat the food that pigs were eating, like imagine that. And then he realized that at his father's house, even the servants ate well. So he was like, let me rather go back. I don't need to be his son. Let me just be his servant. And then at least I have food in my belly and I've got clothes to wear and stuff. So that's what he did. And upon going back home, when he got back home, his father received him with open arms, threw a whole party for him and stuff. Y'all should read it. It is Luke chapter 15 from verse 11 going down. Okay, so what I would like us to focus on, please don't mind the noise, I am outside, so there's a road right here. Okay, so what I want us to focus on is the prodigal son. So with the prodigal son, I feel like that can be us sometimes, and in terms of starting, when he decided that he wanted to get his inheritance, I'm sure he had a plan in place of how he was going to live his life on his own. There is no way that he planned to be homeless. He planned to suffer, to be wanting to eat pig's food and stuff like that. He had a plan in place and he wanted it to work out, but clearly something went off. Maybe he didn't have the right skills, he didn't do the right research before he went out. All of that is possible. However, when he went back home, when he realized that he was able to restart his life with a new plan, which was being a servant to his father, he was basically restarting his plan. So like he started from scratch. And too many of us, like I'm gonna take New Year's resolutions for instance. We start off well, like in January we are doing what we're supposed to be doing. February we are still there trying. The energy is not the same, but we're still trying. By March, a lot of it has died down. April, nobody's even talking about New Year's resolutions anymore. And the thing is, a lot of us then wait for the next year, or we wait for the new month to start, or the new week to start. Like we want the beginning of something before we can start. But I feel that this story is trying to tell us that we can restart at any point, because we don't know how long it took this prodigal son to realize that he could restart and have a better life. Like, too many of us wait for the perfect time. Too many of us wait until things are looking like, okay, I can start now. And it doesn't always work out that way, because if you keep waiting, you might never get that chance to restart. Before you know it, life has passed you by and you've wasted a lot of time when you could have just restarted when you realize that this is not working out, let me do this differently. So yeah, 2 points I'd like to highlight is answer one of the questions of how do we get started again. In the Bible, the saying "what's in your hands" is very common. Like, God is basically telling us that when you want to restart or when you want to start something, just start with what you have on hand. Whether you want to start a YouTube, start with your phone like I'm doing. If you want to start a business, start with what you have. If you want to learn something, learn with what you have. Use the things that God has provided for you, because God says that He has provided everything that we need for this life as well as righteousness. So we should take advantage of the things that He's already provided for us. And for example, when Moses was asked to go and deliver Israel from the Egyptians, he didn't know what to do. And when he asked, how am I supposed to do that? God asked him, what's in your hand? You were to use your staff. The way that he was leading his sheep, he was to lead the Israelites. If you remember David, when he was sent to give his brother lunch, he didn't know they were having a war with a giant. He didn't plan to go there and fight. However, when he was met with a situation, he used what he had and what he knew, which was how to use a sling. And that is what brought him his victory. So let us always check, what is it that I have on me? What is it that I can use to my advantage that I already have, that I don't need to go seeking for? Cool. The other point I'd like to make is to always check ourselves, recalibrate. What I mean by this, I'll use a scale, for instance. You know, when you have a scale at home, that the thing that helps you to weigh yourself, that little arrow starts off at 0, and after a while it starts moving off 0. So it's not really giving you an accurate reading when you stand on it. So what you're meant to do is recalibrate it. So when you decide to recalibrate, what that means is just getting it back to 0, making sure that it's still working right. So that means for us as children of God is, one, is our plans aligning with the will of God, the purpose that God has for us. Are we doing it the right way? So just check yourself, am I doing it the right way? If you're feeling demotivated, for instance, remind yourself, why did I start this in the first place? Why am I doing this to begin with? So that you get that first love or passion that you had in the beginning that forced you to start. And this will help you to get that courage to restart and do the things you're meant to be doing. So yes, I do not know what situation you are faced with today. I do not know what circumstances or what you're trying to start or get restarted or whatever the case may be. But I do hope that this word will help you or be the sign that you've been waiting for to get started. Because in Proverbs chapter 6 verse 10 and 11, it tells us that a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will strike you like a thief. Scarcity will pounce on you like a armed robber, I think. Yes. So don't sit around wasting your time. You're going to just struggle and make things worse. Rather use what you have, check yourself, and just start again. But let's not forget that we are living in a time of grace, so things are at our disposal right now, but this will not always be the case. So take advantage of the grace that God has given us, and I hope this works out for you. See y'all in my next video. Bye.